Welcome to the Independent Schools Equity and Access Virtual College Fair. I'm Jessica. I'll be your facilitator today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping notes for you. Number one, your camera and your microphones are off, so the presenters cannot see or hear you. You are welcome to ask questions by using the Q&A button at any time during the presentation. Just remember, this is just one of many sessions happening today, so make sure you go back to the website and sign up for some more. This session is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Westtown. We have some fantastic schools here today, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I want to welcome our first school to present. It's Davidson College.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and start presenting. I'm also going to start a stopwatch for myself because, as anybody who's presented with me before knows, I can fill as much time as you give me. But good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Mansway. I'm Associate Dean of Admission at Davidson College in Davidson, North Carolina. Just some quick facts about Davidson to kind of kick us off. We are a small liberal arts college. We have just under 2,000 students on campus. Our students come from all over the country, all over the world. About 80% of our students come from out of state, come from outside of North Carolina. Almost 2/3 of our students come from outside of the Southeast. So we are absolutely a residential campus. For the 4 years that you are a student at Davidson, it will really feel like that home away from home. We have, like I said, 95% of our students live on campus, and a couple of things I'll go through a little bit later, but we're known particularly for the honor code on campus, which I'll go into a little bit more detail about, as well as these small class sizes. You see the student faculty ratio, our average class size of 15. We actually don't have any classes on campus larger than 35. And most of your classes will be much smaller than that. Even your first semester at Davidson, your average class size will be more in the 10 to 12 student range. I always make the point that while most students are drawn to Davidson, at least in part because they like that idea of being in small classes, our professors choose to teach at Davidson for the same reason. They want to teach small classes. They want to know their students. They want to be able to challenge you appropriately and help you step outside of your individual academic comfort zone. They are incredibly accessible. 3/4 of our faculty live within walking distance of campus. So they are really viewed as colleagues and collaborators by our students and are definitely kind of the rock stars of campus. We really focus on the experiential learning aspect of the college experience. Our students have access to a phenomenal array of resources. One of the things that I like to talk about at Davidson is that my personal advice is that anything you want to do at Davidson, make Davidson pay for it. There is basically always going to be funding and support available to you. So there's, like I said, the faculty support there, wonderful, but more than half of our students graduate having done original research during their time at Davidson. Those experiences are funded by the college. Over 85% of our students graduate having done at least one significant career development experience. More than 75% of our students graduate having done 2 or more. We benefit from having one of the most dedicated alumni networks in the country. We have typically one of the 2 highest alumni giving rates of any college or university in the US. Us and Princeton are normally 1, 2 in some order, so you get to hear from both of us this afternoon. We are also only 20 miles outside of Charlotte. Charlotte is the second fastest growing major city in the US. It's the second biggest financial hub in the US. It's the 14th largest city overall. And so we're able to leverage that into a lot of direct professional partnerships and pathways for our students on campus as well. In a typical year, about 80% of our students graduate having done at least one international study program or had some sort of international travel experience as a student at Davidson. And that could be a semester abroad, it could be a summer, it could be a research or job experience. It could be traveling internationally if you're a student from the US to visit one of your friends who is from outside of the US. We fund all of those experiences. We cover food, transportation, housing, whatever you would need. We also have a very active on-campus community, over 200 student clubs and organizations. We are arguably the smallest Division I college in the US. We have 21 Division I sports teams. 1/4 of our student body are Division I athletes. What's fun about that is it creates this really great sense of school spirit because those are your friends. You go to those games not just to cheer on Davidson, but to cheer on your roommates and classmates that are on those teams. So athletics becomes incorporated in the college the way it would be at any other small school, but you also get to see your friends on ESPN, which is kind of a fun dichotomy in that idea of being a small school that's competing at the highest possible stage on that national level permeates all other parts of campus. The research opportunities, what's happening in the arts, music, theater, Really anything we do, we want our students to have access to it at the highest possible level. We are in very much the sort of quintessential small college town of Davidson. There's no formal barrier between the campus and the community. Everything you need is within walking distance. We are technically a suburb of Charlotte, like I said, but we also have access to Lake Norman, which is the largest lake in North Carolina. We actually have 110 acres on the lake that we call our lake campus, which means we're just not creative at how we name anything, but we have canoes, kayaks, paddleboards, sailboats, barbecue pits, volleyball courts, all for the exclusive use of our student, staff, and faculty. We also, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we are committed to affordability and access for our students. We are need blind for all US citizens and permanent residents. We meet the full demonstrated need for all of our admitted students, and we do not include student loans in our financial aid awards. So we are committed to making sure that Davidson is affordable to the students we are most excited to have on campus based purely on your application. But then, like I said, as well as making sure that all the experiences of being a Davidson student are covered as well through international travel, professional experiences, research opportunities, funding to travel into Charlotte, even just for fun. All of that is part of the Davidson experience and part of the resources you would have access to. The last thing I'll talk about quickly is the honor code that I mentioned before. I think is one of the more interesting parts of Davidson. It basically says they will not lie, cheat, or steal regarding college business. All of our students sign it and have their signatures framed and hanging on the wall in our main academic building. Because you sign that honor code, you will very rarely ever take an in-class test or paper. Most of our professors don't want to use a class period to watch you take a test. So all of our exams are self-scheduled, take home. Our final exams are self-scheduled. You can build your own calendar, take your exams where you are most comfortable, when you are most comfortable, really put your best foot forward in all of those assignments. And it creates this really fantastic sense of mutual trust within the community. You can trust other people at Davidson, but you also know you're being trusted by people at Davidson. So I'm happy to continue answering questions. Please hit me up with anything in the Q&A or feel free to reach out to me. But with that, I will turn off my camera and turn it over to my next colleague.
All right, so next up, we will have Union College.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Moore, and I apologize, but I am being safe and wearing my mask. Hope that you can all can hear me. Representing Union College today, founded in 1795 in the beautiful location of Schenectady, New York, which is a small city located in the Capital District. We are neighbor cities to Albany and Troy and make up what they call, I guess, the Capital District, where you have the kind of urban flair. You can see Broadway shows that travel, walk 10 minutes across town, 10 minutes to downtown Schenectady as well. The other side of our campus, the east side of our campus, is bordered by a residential neighborhood where students walk across campus to and from school, or just for a walk or hang out or shoot hoops at our basketball courts, or play a little bit of tennis on the tennis courts. So we are part of that community. That's one of the things that our president and everybody across our campus take value in, is that we are not just a campus or an educational institution planted in the city, but we are very much part of that city and that community. The name implies connection, or where things happen, where things connect, where things overlap, intersect, and that is huge for us. Every one of your classes will be taught by a tenured or a faculty member, most of whom are tenured or are tenure track. 99% of them have terminal degrees in their areas of study and practice. So we're completely undergraduate, so you'll never see a TA. You'll never have to schedule a meeting outside of dealing directly with your faculty members. Every student has an academic advisor for us beginning in your first year. Even if you have not chosen a major, Union College, as a liberal arts college, does not require you to select a major right away. It's an option, but you're not required to. So essentially what happens is, for students that have not declared a major or majors, we'll share information with those faculty members that are advising students and give them as much information as we have about you and your interests that you highlighted in your application. And then they have really simple, direct, engaging conversations with the students to find out where your passions lie, or to find out where more passions might intersect or be added to the passions that you've already identified. So connection is really important there. Connection is also initiated at the very outset of your commitment, the day you submit your deposit to Union College, we make sure that we start the assessment of connecting you to what we call Minerva houses. And for those of you that know who Minerva is, the Roman goddess of wisdom, Athena's counterpart. So the Roman goddess of wisdom serves as a platform for us. The Minerva house system benefits each and every one of our community members. Every faculty member, every student is a member of one of the 7 Minerva houses. So what they do is provide a platform. We talk about wisdom, connecting, engaging, building, becoming brothers and sisters through wisdom. And the Minerva houses provide the platform, the physical space, the financial resources for the students to be able to lead in the wisdom that they share across campus. Of course, faculty and staff, we have our spaces, we have our offices, we have our classrooms, but the Minerva houses are almost exclusively for students to lead in that process. So that's how connection starts on our campus, and it's carried through. I'll give you an example of how intense and engaged and influential the Minerva houses are. Last year, the 7 Minerva houses hosted about 500 different individual events, activities, or programs. That's not even scratching the surface of what the additional 130 or so clubs and organizations do to help people connect on our campus. At Union, we'll talk a great deal about integration. So integration might manifest itself in a lot of different ways, but the 2 areas I highlight right now are academics. I talked about students coming in and not having or not being forced to choose a major. There are students who arrive on campus knowing that they have multiple interests, and they just haven't decided how they want to pare it down, or if they want to pare it down at all. They don't have to sacrifice. You can build what we call organized themes. So some places say you can create your own or design your own major, and that's fair. But at Union, we like to think about taking these different ideas or disciplinary kind of focus that you have and shaping them into a theme that makes sense to the student, shaping them into a theme that will serve that student in their continued lifelong learning process and help them get, some gainful employment and career traction as well. But the idea is that after you leave Union, that's really the platform or the launch pad for that continued lifelong learning and the contributions that you'll make to the communities that you might serve. We talk a great deal about the power of immersion. And so the power of immersion usually refers to like the intensity or the creativity with which you study. About 65% of our students will make study abroad or an international experience, whether for a full term. We're a trimester school, so we speak mostly in terms. So you could do a full term study abroad. You could do a mini term, and the mini terms are 3 to 4 weeks. They are at the student's discretion. Some of them are tied to your academic program, if that's your choice. Others allow you to explore the curriculum on other campuses around the world. There are about 44 different partnerships that we have in different countries that students can explore. Some of the more popular include Australia. There's a Spain term. There's a really popular theater term as well in London, where students can go study Shakespeare as well. So connection, integration, immersion are at the top of our list in terms of the power that makes Union what it is. I love to talk with you all more. Again, my name is Michael Moore. I think my email address is in my title there. So have a wonderful day, and thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely. And don't forget, students, to ask your questions in the Q&A section. So next up, we have IE University.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks so much for joining us all here in the event on a Saturday. We're really happy to have you. It is my pleasure to share a little bit more about IE University today. My name is Cora Morrison, and I'm the Senior Manager for North America based out of our New York office. We actually have 30 international offices. And so just to kind of dive in case you haven't heard of IE before, we're an international European university. We are located in Madrid and Segovia, Spain. We're a medium-sized private nonprofit university. All of our programs are taught in English, and we're a very diverse campus. So 75% of our campus are international students coming from outside of Spain, and we have over 120 different nationalities. We're a little bit over 5,000 undergraduate students right now. 55% are women and 45% are men. And we're well known for our career-focused majors and our experiential learning approach. So there's a lot of hands-on learning and practices throughout all of your studies. There's no general education requirements, which is pretty common in Europe in many cases. So students go directly into their major of study and start classes from the first year. All of our programs are accredited. So that's another big question I get, is if they can bring their program back to the US and continue with a career or to continue with a master's degree. And the answer in short is yes. And due to our very career focused majors and approach, 95% of our students receive employment within 6 months of graduation. For our class sizes, the largest class that you're going to see on campus is about 55 students. So there's a lot of interactive group work, and the professors are often practitioners as well. So they're bringing in that real live experience into the classroom. The tuition is between $25,000, $27,000 a year, depending on the degree that you're looking at right now. And we have over 21 different scholarships available for students. I'll share a little bit more about our campus next. So our Madrid campus is a beautiful city in Madrid, actually. I lived there for 6 years, but it's the capital of Spain. We have an urban campus there. It's in the business district of Madrid, and Madrid is really a hub of innovation and technology within Spain. And we just opened our new vertical campus this fall for students. It's a 35-story campus. I won't go into all of the different areas, but you can see them here. And there's more information on our site and videos. But it's a 35-story campus built with sustainability in mind, and it also has horizontal green spaces. And then, of course, the city of Madrid itself is a great place for students to explore. It's well connected with other cities in Spain and other metropolitan areas around Europe. And it's an amazing place to live and to study. Our second campus in Segovia is a little bit of a different experience. So Madrid is the urban campus, you're in the middle of everything. And Segovia is a smaller city, about an hour-and-a-half drive or 25 minutes outside of Madrid if you're going by high-speed train. Our campus is a protected UNESCO site, actually, because it's from the 13th century. It's had a lot of great history. Now it's our beautiful campus. And as well as Madrid, Segovia is really a great place to live, to study. You have the Roman aqueducts, you have castles, cathedrals, and a lot of really beautiful places to explore. So this campus, I would say, is for students who are looking more for that smaller campus experience. It's very international. And outside of the class time, students will stay around campus or they'll go together. Since it's a smaller city, you can build really tight knit connections. And then as far as the programs that we do offer a range of different bachelor programs. Most are 4-year programs, again, all taught in English, and they start in September. For many programs, you can decide if you want to start in Segovia and then move to Madrid after a couple of years, or you can do all of your studies in Madrid. We're very well known for our business program, which is Triple Crown accredited, but also we have amazing programs in international relations, which was designed with the United Nations System Staff College, programs in economics, artificial science and artificial intelligence, architectural studies, etc. And then we also offer dual degree programs. So these programs are 2 different degrees in 5 years. I won't go into all of them here, but of course, if you have any questions, I'm happy to explain a little bit more. We also have a range of pre-college activities. So if you are someone who's looking for an international experience, but you're not sure if you want to completely study 4 or 5 years outside of your home country, you can definitely check these out. They're a great opportunity for students to meet other students from around the world and then participate and gain experience for also their college applications, no matter where they go. At IE, you can also build your own paths. So we have a range of different electives and advanced seminars, international exchanges, internships, and labs. Our exchanges are spanned throughout the world. Basically, we have over 160 different partner universities for exchange right now. So most students do go on exchange at some point in their studies. And then as far as the admission process goes, we have a 5-step process. Just kind of briefly, we do have rolling admissions, and we are on the Common App. So I won't go into all of it right now, but of course, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to go into more details. We do require some sort of placement test, which is another big question we get as a European university, but we have been offering our own test for many years, and it's very different from the SAT or ACT. It's more of an aptitude test, and it requires no preparation and free of charge. So for a lot of students, I'm recommending that. Quickly, to kind of wrapping up, for campus life, we offer definitely some vibrant campus life. Even though we're a European university, we have over 120 different clubs. We have athletics, creativity centers, and a lot of different traditions. One of my favorite traditions is the Global Village, actually. So, there's a lot of things that you can get involved in around campus and also around the city. And then just quickly, just wanted to mention, even though we're in Europe, we do offer scholarships. So we have a range of different scholarships to choose from. They are a mix. We have some that are merit-based, need-based, etc. So I'm happy to share more information on those. And I will wrap up and pass it on to my next colleague. Thanks again for listening. And if you would like to connect, feel free. I'll put my contact also in the chat, I suppose. And we also have an Instagram page where you can follow us more. So thanks so much for listening.
Thank you. So next up, we have Middlebury College.
Hi there, everyone. My name's Asa Waterworth. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an admissions counselor here at Middlebury College in Middlebury, Vermont. I'm also joined behind the scenes by a current Middlebury senior named Gar, who is happy to answer any of your questions. Please use the Q&A chat. He'd be really happy to talk to you about all things student life. So let's jump right in. Middlebury College is a small liberal arts and sciences college of about 2,500 students. Our students come from all 50 states and over 70 different countries, and they have the opportunity to choose from more than 850 classes and 49 majors and programs, more than half of which are interdisciplinary. In addition to our main Vermont campus, which you see here beautiful in the fall, which is entirely undergraduate, we also have a large network of schools abroad, summer language schools, and a graduate school located in Monterey, California. So I'd like to dive into some of the details of what makes the Middlebury experience so special. First, I would say our location in Vermont Champlain Valley offers an experience that's deeply rooted in a sense of place and community. A strong connection to the local environment is central to our identity and really allows students to take advantage of recreational, academic, and also extracurricular and community engagement opportunities in and around the town of Middlebury and all across the state of Vermont as a whole. One of the most common questions I get asked is what makes Middlebury different. To me, it's that we hold two identities that might seem at first a little bit opposite, but when you look at them together, they really are what make Middlebury Middlebury, and they're what makes me love Middlebury too. So we're a small college in a small state with a very strong sense of community and connection to place, but at the same time, we're a globally connected college, and we place a really strong emphasis on the development of intercultural competence and cross-cultural understanding. And as you can see by this map, our boundaries really extend far beyond the borders of the state of Vermont. You can see this in our internationalized curriculum, our internationally diverse student body, and also our extensive abroad experiences and opportunities. More than half of our juniors will study abroad for at least a semester, and often they do it through Middlebury's own schools abroad. So we have 36 different schools on this map in 16 different countries, most of which are language intensive. Middlebury, if you're interested in languages, is a really wonderful place to start a new language and study abroad in that language, if that's something that interests you. Another unique feature of Middlebury's academic experiences is our environmental studies program, which is the oldest of its kind in the country. It's one of the most popular majors, in large part due to the fact that it's very multidisciplinary. So you can combine your passion for the environment with anything from chemistry to dance and everything and anything in between. Environmentalism is a pillar of Middlebury's identity. We became carbon neutral in 2016, and by the year 2028, we'll be running 100% on renewable energy. Both of these were very much student-driven initiatives. And I think that really highlights the emphasis that Middlebury places on the student voice in shaping our priorities and our policies on campus. Another highlight of the Middlebury student experience is our J-term. We're on a 4-1-4 academic calendar here at Middlebury. So typically students take 4 classes in the fall, 4 in the spring, and then 1 during the month of January, which we call J-term. So it's a 4-week opportunity to really dive into just one class, an internship, or an independent study. And of course, you'll have ample time as well to take advantage of snowy winter in Vermont. And so then after J-term wraps up, we welcome a whole new group of students to our campus. We call these students FEBs, and Middlebury has one of the oldest, largest, and most well-established mid-year enrollment programs in the country. So FEBs come in a semester after students in September. They have essentially a half a gap year, gap semester to spend doing whatever they might want to do, working a job, traveling, visiting with family, or engaging in a service project. Their graduation is one of the most beloved traditions at Middlebury. It looks something like this. They ski down the college's own snow bowl, or a local ski mountain, and to celebrate doing things a little bit differently. And last but not least, I wanted to highlight just a few of the many resources that we have available on campus that strive to support Middlebury students, especially in the context of the many identities that they hold. One I love to talk about is the Anderson Freeman Resource Center, which is our intercultural center. It is the home base to many of our affinity groups on campus. It is also home to First at Mid, which is our pre-orientation program for first-generation college students. We have the CTLR, which aids students in all of their course-based needs, as well as resources, of course, focus on health and wellness. And then last but not least, for real this time, some info about admissions and financial aid. So we accept the Common App and the Coalition app. We are test optional this year and next year at least. We have no supplemental essay, so no extra work or extra stress for you to do there. We are a need-blind institution, which means what you and your family can or cannot contribute towards the cost of a Middlebury education does not play a role in our admissions decision if you are a US citizen, a permanent resident, an undocumented student, or a DACA recipient. And we do meet 100% of demonstrated need for all admitted students for all 4 years. So I hope that was helpful and you learned a bit about MID. Feel free to check out our digital view book via this QR code, or send me an email at any time. I'd be really happy to answer more of your questions about Middlebury. And I will pass it along to my colleague.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So next up, we have Lycoming College.
Hi all, I'm just going to share my screen really quick. Just to echo everyone else, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, especially on a Saturday. We love to be able to do this with you all. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Lycoming College. So a little bit about us. We were founded in 1812, so we're one of the 50 oldest colleges in the nation. We are a small private liberal arts institution in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, so in central Pennsylvania. We have 1,200 students coming from all over the world and all over the country, which we're super excited about. Just the opportunities that students have, bringing different backgrounds is super awesome. Being that we're a small undergraduate institution, our faculty are super involved in what our students do on and off campus. Our faculty across the board hold some of the highest degrees within their fields of study, providing opportunities for students in their current research, presenting at conferences, and even publication. We've seen some of our students be able to do that. In the classroom setting, our ratio is 12:1. And because there are no graduate students on campus, you're getting face-to-face time with faculty, and there are no graduate students that are teaching the classes. It is our faculty doing so. And a lot of our faculty give student opportunities for lab assistants, helping them in those settings, and also research, paid and unpaid research assistants, which is super great. Again, our faculty are super great and super involved with that. We are a liberal arts institution with our majors being about 43 majors and 66 different minors. They range anywhere between anything in STEM, so biology, chemistry, physics, to musical theater, to education, all the way to business. I have a list here of just some of our more unique majors, but again, we have a lot of special opportunities within criminal justice, which is one of our more popular business as well. One thing that's unique about our students at Lycoming College is a lot of them either double major or major minor in combination with both their passion and their career aspirations. So for example, we had a student that graduated in 2020 and she was a double major in astrophysics and creative writing. So we see that our students do a lot of variety in cross disciplines across the board, which is super cool. All of our students are required to have an enhanced academic experience, and we have a center on campus dedicated to helping our students get those. And that can be anywhere between internships, fieldwork, research, and even study abroad or global study opportunities. One of our more unique study abroad opportunities is our Warrior Coffee Project. Our students go over to the Dominican Republic and work with the community farmers and bring back those coffee beans. And that's the coffee that we sell on campus, which is super cool. Through this center that we do have our career advisors for students. So all of our students starting the summer before they come onto campus are assigned a career advisor specializing in their specific academic areas on campus, supporting them through their 4 years, whether that's getting an internship or even going on to grad school, med school, or even the job, building the resume and practicing interviewing skills. We are NCAA Division III. Students have an opportunity to get involved in a variety of ways on campus, whether that's Greek life, through clubs and organization, civic engagement, etc. One thing that's really unique to Lycoming College is we have our outdoor leadership and education office going on anywhere between 80 to 100 trips a year, getting our students outdoors and building that leadership skills. We do ask that all of our students fill out FAFSA. We do have that opportunity for students so that we can help meet any need-based assistance. We also provide all of our students 100% of some form of financial assistance through us, with our merit-based scholarships that right now range between $18,000 to $32,000. We also have opportunities for students to do our academic or talent scholarships as well. And we encourage students to apply early so that they're eligible for those scholarships. Here I just have kind of the timeline that we have available for students to apply. We are on Common App as well as Coalition App for students to apply. And again, whatever which way is easier for you as a student, we encourage students to apply either way. Our application is free to apply, so all it really takes is just your time. I wanted to highlight some visit opportunities that we have. We are conducting opportunities for students to come on campus and see us in person, or we have virtual options as well. So if you want to do a virtual and then come on campus and see us, we would love to have you. We're actually hosting an open house today. And so we look forward to having more open houses in the future, especially in our summertime for the juniors that might be around. And then again, I wanted to kind of just highlight some things and show you just some pictures of campus here. We do have our 3-story tall rock wall in the picture on the left over there. The center picture is actually our newest building on campus, which is our Craft Gateway Center, which is home to admissions. And then in 2022, we will be building our new music building as well, with recital spaces, practice rooms, which we're really excited about. And if you all have any questions, I will put my name and email in the chat, and we look forward to connecting with you all in the future.
All right, thank you so much. So next up, we have Princeton University.
Thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Kayla McDonald. I'm an assistant dean at Princeton, and I'm here to tell you all about the university. I will just say that if you have any questions whatsoever, my colleague Emma will be in the background answering any questions, but also a lot of our information that you'll see here today is available on our website. So without further ado, I will get started. Now, Princeton University is located in Princeton, New Jersey. It's very much it's a suburban town, residential area. And it's a university that is distinguished, that has distinguished research and has a profound commitment to undergraduate teaching. This is reflecting in the makeup of our student body. We have approximately 5,200 undergraduate students and about 3,000 graduate students. So we're at the lower end of a mid-size university. Thanks to our 5-to-1 student to faculty ratio, our undergraduate students are encouraged to form close intellectual relationships with world-class faculty, often in small classroom settings with tight-knit groups of other students. Now, we offer 2 degree programs in terms of our academics, so students can either pursue a Bachelor of Arts, which is going to be really anything within the humanities, things like English, history, anything within social sciences, psychology, sociology, or anything within our natural sciences, chemistry or physics. And then students can also pursue, a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, which is really going to be anything within engineering. And then between those 2 degrees, we offer 37 majors and then 54 minors. And I will say about 75% of our students will pursue an AB degree, and about 25% of students pursue a BSc degree. Now at Princeton, many professors belong to top professional associations that honor their research and scholarship as among the best in the world. Actually, 12 of our faculty members are Nobel laureates. And regardless of their expertise or professional accomplishments, all of our faculty are committed to teaching undergraduate students. So in fact, the opportunity to work closely with undergraduate students is precisely why many faculty members pursue a career at Princeton. In fact, about 75% of our classes have fewer than 20 students in them. So therefore, undergraduates receive individual attention from our faculty. And our unique academic structure ensures that our students' education is grounded in the liberal arts, with so many opportunities to conduct large-scale original research on a level that many students outside of Princeton might not have a chance to do until graduate school. So we actually, we actually require that every student complete a senior thesis. And this is a culminating project, so encompasses your 4 years at the university, that really just kind of highlights all that you've learned within your major. You're basically sort of consuming this knowledge, and you're starting to produce this knowledge. Now, this original research gives students the opportunity to work one-on-one with faculty mentors who will help to guide them through the process and offer feedback on their work. So some of the theses are paper-based, performance-based, or project-based. They really take on many different shapes and forms. I know one student did theirs in the form of a written musical and performed it on campus. Another student studied how different trends on Twitter can really connect to different stock market projections. And now research opportunities for students are available as early as their first year. Students can connect with the Office of Undergraduate Research, or they can even connect with faculty members outside of the classrooms to join the research initiatives. Now, housing in our community is guaranteed all 4 years, and nearly all students choose to live on campus all 4 years. So our first year students are assigned a residential college, and we have a total of 6 of them. And they're all like a home away from home. So you'll be able to dine, study, and relax with others where you live. And you have access to faculty assigned to your college who serve as your academic advisors and really participate in a range of extracurricular activities. Now, our students are actively engaged in a lot of these activities, and we have over 300 student organizations. They range from performing arts, debate, to community service. We also have 37 Division I varsity athletic teams, 19 religious chaplaincies, and really many ways for students to stay active on our campus. Now, I will also say that our Princeton is committed to creating a vibrant and diverse student community. And we define diversity in many different ways, whether that's diversity of thought, ethnic, cultural, religious diversity, socioeconomic diversity. Our student body consists of students from all 50 states and some territories, more than 100 countries, and really wanting to make sure that students find ways in which they can connect either through our support centers or resources to really be able to find the support they need just through their intersectional identities to help really reinforce the importance of community and belonging on our campus. Now, service and civic engagement are central to the Princeton experience, and that's reflected in the formal motto of Princeton in the nation's service and the service of humanity. And in fact, about 60% of students will have engaged in a volunteer activity by the time they graduate. And that's really through our major hub of our PACE Center for Civic Engagement, which is really something that is reflected, that reflects a lot of our service opportunity. Now, financial aid is definitely something that I always am excited to talk about when it comes to Princeton. And that is because Princeton has one of the most generous financial aid policies in the country. Our need-based and need-blind financial aid is available to all students, regardless of citizenship or citizenship status. And we offer grants instead of loans. So what that means is that you do not have to pay us back. A grant is just money that goes towards your college education. And approximately about 83% of our students graduate free of debt. Roughly 61% of Princeton students are currently receiving financial aid, and the average grant for the class of 2025 was $62,200, which is more than the cost of tuition. Now, I know that was a lot of high-level information, but if you have any questions whatsoever, we'll drop our email in the chat, and we'll definitely provide our link for you so you can explore more. But thank you so much, and I'll pass it back to Jessica.
All right, thank you. If I could have all of our representatives to come back on the screen, I have a few questions I would love to ask you so you can impart some wisdom on our audience, additional wisdom. So I think that would be a good idea right now. So my first question for the panel is, what advice would you give to someone going through the college search process? And we'll answer in the same order that we presented.
So I think my main piece of advice is take this process seriously, but don't become a professional college applicant. Focus on actually enjoying your time in high school, taking advantage of the opportunities around you, hanging out with your friends, doing all of those normal things, because that's what really comes through in your application. It's not a checkbox of achievements or like college going things. It's the totality of what you've been involved with in high school, and usually in ways that students don't realize. So don't focus on being a college applicant, focus on being a good high school student, and the rest of it will come.
Yeah, and I'll take that a tad bit further and just say, I know that this is kind of the influencer age and that kind of thing, but don't allow yourself to be influenced so much by what others doing, what the next kid's doing, what the kids last year did. This is very personal to you, and treat it as such. And it's okay to be a little bit selfish in this process. So that's where I would kind of take it. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. And definitely echo everything that my colleagues have already mentioned. If I had to add something else, I would maybe say, I know that this can be a daunting process, but it should also be a very exciting and also can be even a fun time as well. So one of the tips I like to give students is just to stay organized. I don't know, if you're a big fan of spreadsheets, I am, but if you have the opportunity to, while you're researching universities, if you just have a list, if you're researching different things, try to find a university that will fit you the best and will match what you want to do in the future. So basically just to stay organized and to kind of break things down into smaller chunks, it makes it much more manageable would be the advice I would have.
I would say dive into information about a college or university far beyond the numbers that you might just see presented to you at the beginning. Looking at an acceptance rate might turn you off really quickly, thinking I'm not competitive enough, or this is too selective of an institution, but in reality, you might be exactly the person that institution is looking for. Same with the cost of tuition. It's often really high, but for schools like many of these here today have really, really generous financial aid policies. So that's something that might not come across at first as well. So just dive in beyond the numbers. Don't let those scare you off.
These have all been really good. I think if I was to add like another kind of component of it, don't be afraid to reach out to your admissions counselor and really get to know the people in the office. I know that like when we meet students, we're able to talk more in depth about kind of the best way for you to apply and kind of those caveats, educate you on the financial aid policies. As my colleagues have mentioned, we all do have opportunities for scholarships, financial aid, et cetera, at these institutions. And so when you meet with your admissions counselor or any of the staff, they're able to help you and advocate for you. That's what we're here for. And a lot of us just want you to find the best fit for you, whether it's our institution or not. So getting to know us and reaching out we'll be able to help you as much as we can.
And I think the one thing I'll add, I think it's kind of been said through everyone else's responses, but just being authentic, being true to yourself. I think when we are all looking for, reviewing applications, we're always trying to understand who the student is as a person, as an individual. And so your experiences are the ones, are special to you. And I think if you're willing to share those, then definitely do that. And don't ever feel like they're not good enough or they're not flashy enough or anything like that, because we're more interested about you and all that you've experienced.
I think that those are all good points. So another question that I have for the panelists, what is one thing you want students to remember about your school? Just one.
Just one thing. I imagine other people would say something similar, and we kind of touched on this, but there's no one kind of student who's a good fit. So if Davidson sounds like an interesting place, don't just go by numbers or cost. really do some digging, see if it could be a good fit, and feel free to reach out and talk to people. Davidson's a very friendly place. Being in the South, I'm from Philadelphia. It took me a while to get used to Southern hospitality, but use that to your advantage as you're researching Davidson, and know that anybody on campus will be happy to be a resource for you and talk to you.
Yeah, I would say just remember, as the name Union implies, it's where things come together, right? So things, people, ideas, platforms, communities. So just remember that that's where things come together.
Wow. Okay. One thing. One of the things I really think that stands out at IU University is just the fact that we're so international. So, basically at the end of the day, you're going to be surrounded by a global classroom of peers. And then later, these are friends around the world, but also professional contacts. And I think that's something that just makes the classroom, and also the experiences that you get in the perspectives that you hear in the classroom itself, it brings a lot of enrichment to the learning process.
At Middlebury, I would say if you identify as compassionate, curious, and community-minded, and you're interested in spending 4 years in small town New England, but having access to global opportunities, then Mid is a school you should definitely check out.
I would say one thing would be our Center for Enhanced Academic Experience, which gets students outside of the classroom and really utilizing their skills and putting what they learn in the classroom into practice.
I would say access to faculty. I think that can sometimes be something that can be overlooked in the college search process, and really that opportunity to connect with faculty members and really get to know about like their experiences and being able to have them teach you at the highest level. I think that's a really great experience that can really lead to a jumping off point for anything that you'd like to pursue in your career.
All right, thank you. I hope you were paying attention. Those are some great nuggets of wisdom. I'd like to thank our panelists for being here, and also like to thank you for joining us today. When you exit out of the Zoom room, there will be a quick survey for you to fill out. Make sure you fill it out. Give us your feedback. We want to hear from you. Also, there's another session happening after this one in 15 minutes. You should log back in and come back to the next session. And there's going to be another one after that too. So learn about as many colleges as possible. Just know this session has been recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Westtown. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.